What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Basin RC. If you're new, check out our videos. Hopefully you can get something from it, enjoy it, all that good stuff. But today we are here with the pink Redcat Ascent 18, and we got some new upgrades for it. We have the Quick Run Outer 1620. It's a motor. It's an outrunner type motor. And the ESC. It's the Mini 24, which I've seen them in these. They seem to work good, but I wanted to test it out for myself, so we got our hands on one of these. Quick thank to Mountain High Power Sports for helping us out with this and sponsoring the video. And again, these guys are amazing. If you guys are in the Basin area, go and stop by. They're in Vernal. They're just amazing people. They got great products, great people, great prices. I mean, it's kind of a weird slogan, but that I just come up with. It's not their slogan, it's mine. I'm coining that. But we got this today, so we are going to go through and get this in. We're going to have to solder up the connectors that's already on here for the battery, because it comes with different connectors. So we're going to change that and then put it in here, and then we will see how it compares as to our Redcat Ascent 18. That was difficult to say. But, so let's dive into this and we'll get everything tore apart. I think we're going to program this outside of the truck, so that's what we're going to do first, and then we'll get it thrown in there, and then we'll take it on a test run. So, I had problems programming it to this, and I should have figured it out beforehand, but it took me a good 20 minutes to get it figured out. So this ESC has to be plugged into your throttle channel, and this is only made for brushless setups, which it'll run a brushless motor, so you can't use the outrunner if you're going to continue to use this one. But I had another Redcat 4-channel radio and transmitter kicking around that I hooked it up and just did some testing with, and I got it to work with this. So we're going to throw this in here instead of this one. So I got it all programmed so everything works great. It's just you can't connect it to your stock remote. So that's the only thing you got to change. Other than that, everything's soldered, everything's done up. So now it's time to put it in the rig. So we will get our station cleaned up a little bit, and then we'll start working on that. Okay guys, we got our station cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and dive in to tearing this apart and putting this system in there. So I will put you on a fast forward on me tearing this all apart, and if I run into anything, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Alright guys, so we got that installed. It was pretty simple. There was a couple things that I noticed when I was in there. So the factory motor, it is the pin or the spur gear, it is just pressed on. There's no grub screw or nothing holding it onto the shaft. So I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I just pressed it on here and it seemed to be pretty snug, but I think under quite a bit of torque, which you shouldn't really have that much resistance with these littler ones, like nothing compared to like a 10th scale, but it could potentially slip. I'm unsure at this point, but I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of testing, running it through its paces. Other than that, it mounted up really well. I did add a little bit of extra grease in here because it didn't have a whole lot, so I did add a little bit. But other than that, everything went really smooth. Just also another thing, on the drive shafts, they take a Phillips head screwdriver. So just plan for that if you are going to do this. It was kind of strange seeing how it mounted up, how you had to get into the transmission to mount it rather than having another way, but to keep it as compact as this transmission is, I understand. And it is really straightforward, really easy, but I'm going to get everything else wired up, and then we're going to do a little bench crawl over some things, and then we'll take it outside and see how it does. Throw a battery on here. This thing is insanely slow. Wow, this thing's wild with this. It changes this rig 100%. Oh man, I think we're gonna reprogram it because it's reading full throttle on reverse and not quite on forward. So let's flip these, and then so we'll hold down, long press. So that'll be neutral, full throttle, and reverse. Okay, let's see. It's still doing the same thing. That's strange. I wonder if we flip this and do it. So neutral, full throttle, and full reverse. So now, if we flip that, that's kind of strange. I don't know why it does that, but, you know, it doesn't, I mean, I guess your top end speed's going to be a little different. I'm going to do some research and see if I can't figure out why it's doing that, or if it's just because of the transmission, how it's made for these Redcats. Because, I mean, obviously these are way different than like axials or Traxxas. So, kind of curious as to why it does that. And I know we could flip the orientation of the transmission. I know that wouldn't hurt anything, everything would bolt up. And then you'd still have the faster forward gear. But I'll dive into it a little bit, but as far as it stands right now, I am completely impressed. I can't wait to get it out on the rocks and show you guys what it'll do. Alright, we are out here with the Redcat Ascent 18s. We're going to test out the motor in the Hobbywing motor in the pink Ascent 18 versus the stock one and the red one. So let's go start with the pink one and then we'll let the red one have a turn. Super good motor control. Just a bad line, I think. Let's start over here. Give us a little better opportunity to get this up there. Super slow control. This motor is awesome. This thing will go as slow as you want it to. It's so controllable, so easy. And for the price point, it is super affordable. You cannot beat that price. I think what I got it for was about 80 bucks for the motor and ESC. So that's pretty dang good in my opinion. If these tires would grab, I think we'll have her. Back up. Oh, it wants to. It wants to bite it. There it goes. Grabbed a hold of it right there. Okay, now let's let the red one have a shot at this. So right off the bat, this red one, the stock motor, it likes to stall out. Oh, I'm digging holes over here. Yep, see, it's stalling out. Fix that bumper. Let it have another shot. You don't really notice the jerkiness of this motor until you play with one that has a brushless motor in it. It's quite crazy to me, because it just stalls out randomly, and like when you're in low speed crawl. Cool. We got it to go up that, so we'll move on to the next course and go from there. On this one, we're going to let the red one go first and see what we can do. We got a pretty good crack right here that we got to cross, and a little bit of side hilling. So I think it'll be a good challenge for both rigs.
A little breakover on top. That made it look too easy. So now let's have the pink one have a turn. This one is just so easy to control. I'm starting to fall in love with this car so much more every time I drive it. Not to mention how quiet it is over the stock ones. Okay, they both made it up really easy. This one's going to be an uphill climb. It looks a little, it doesn't look as steep as it is, but it's also got a lot of loose dirt with the rocks, so we'll come up it, flip around and go back down it so we can show you the drag brake on it, show you how good it works compared to the stock configuration. That body definitely needs trimmed, but this thing performs like nobody's business. This thing will just do whatever you ask it to. This thing's quite amazing. You will need a programming card from Hobbywing to program the motor to change the direction or the rotation of the motor, because factory it comes set up to run in like your non-portal vehicles, like your axials and stuff like that. So if you get the programming card, if you go to channel 4, I think it is, and change it to number 2, that'll change the direction of the motor. That way you have your full speed in, on your forward gear instead of reverse. Now for the red one. Got its wheels up in the air waving at you. There it goes. I didn't realize how much this motor stalled out until I got this new motor in that pink one. Now for the downhill. I mean, it's still really controllable to go down with the stock motor, but that Hobbywing just makes it so much easier. Made it just fine. Alright, now we'll do a little speed run to show you the speed differences between these two rigs. We will go forward on the way up, and then in reverse we will come down, show you both gears how fast they are. So, okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. That pink one is just so much faster. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Even in reverse. Well, they're pretty even in reverse, but your forward gear is way higher with that new Hobbywing. which can help you out in a lot of different scenarios, trying to bump up different rocks and everything like that. So, well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and again, huge thanks to Mountain High Power Sports for sponsoring this video. We appreciate you guys so much for watching.